Hello city builders, this is Hubbub. Welcome back to the city of Nuevo Springs on the Azure Gulf map in the Sunset Harbor DLC. Last couple videos have been streams. This is going to be an edited video. I'm not sure to what extent I'm going to strictly edit this because I'm really been struggling lately with the editing software that I have. I can't do too much in the way of time lapse. So what may end up happening is I'm going to stream and then I'm just going to split this into multiple videos and then try to talk my way through them. But I'm not good with narration either. So we shall see how this goes. But the last several videos I did some work over on, and actually I don't know if I put this on video, but I've been obsessive about disabling despawning, and the big difficulty that I was having was trains and the quirkiness of the map connection over here, which I think is thoroughly broken, and I had to put in a couple of my own. So when I go into, we can see the train stacking up right here. When I go into disabling despawning, I end up with trains stacked up. Now, some of this is I created this mess because I have these two huge districts over here. So I had to do a whole bunch of work on the train network up here to try to make it as passable as possible for trains. So it's working as well as it can. It's admittedly not as realistic as it could be. But so it's pretty much a mess in that sense. But at least when I go into disabling of despawning, it works. And I was able to sustain it for a couple hours the other day. But then we always end up with this. There was something wrong with this connection, and I'm pretty sure I did it. Because if the nodes are too close, you have to stretch them out. And I did something that killed the connection, and so I had to put in my own, and it's never been the same since. This is a vanilla map, so, I mean, it's a DLC map, so there shouldn't be anything wrong with it. But in any event, I've got all this up here running in despawning and maintaining 86% traffic flow. Even this really dense oil industry up here is working. I had to disconnect the lateral road network from the central artery that feeds this train cargo hub over here in order to clean up a lot of the congestion that was occurring. So that's been squared away. Those, as I said, those train lines have been squared away, and then I also have been putting in a lot of work over here on the Waterfront District, which it's really closing in on being almost finished. Previously I had developed the peninsula, and we have these two tourist harbors, and then the space elevator, which you can see is just pulling thousands and thousands of sims into the city, and it's an embarrassment of riches in terms of tourism spots on the other side of the island, over on the inland, off the peninsula over here. And these monorail stations are working splendidly. The trains do get backed up a teeny bit, but it's not something that kills the system, and it actually works as kind of a regulator because they sit in the station for, I'd say, a good 10-15 seconds before they pull out. So this has the effect of keeping the spacing across the whole network with the monorail trains. The last 2 or 3 videos I've been working literally underneath the elevated highway here. These towers that line the quay are all residential towers, and then deeper in we have office and commercial, and then we have kind of a mixture of residential and commercial in here, with a lot of the major tourist spots being over here around this big traffic circle. But I always want to try to work more commercial in here. And so what I did was, we're going to pause this for a second so I can show this. I'm going to do something really crazy here. We're going to take all these buildings and drag them out of... Oh, what's not connected there? Okay, looks like I need to fix that building. Something's not right there. But I'm just going to pull these out of the way for a second so we can look underneath. I wanted to plop low-res commercial in here so that Sims, either tourists or residents, have accessibility to shopping, restaurants. There's a dental office in here. There's clothing stores in here. So it's basically an open air mall underneath this highway. And then I did a whole bunch of work putting in, you can see the graffiti back here, dropping all that in. This custom storefront comes without signs on it. So I spent a good 30 minutes putting signs on these storefronts. That was fun. Also, okay, so let's fix this then. Okay, so that was that in the last 2 or 3 streams. And then what I want to work on next, the plan was always, when I would finally get to it, that, see, we have Lord Chirpwick's castle up here, and I kept thinking, you wouldn't have a castle like this on a mountaintop without a medieval village to go alongside it. I'm not actually going to try to build a medieval village, but I do have some brick Old English houses that I'm going to try to fill in up in here. And I have to do some more research on street layouts before I even attempt that. But then the rest of this, what I always wanted to have happen was for the city to kind of crawl up the side of this foothill here. There's a degree to which this may not be the most realistic thing in the world. I've been doing all kinds of searching, and the only city that I can find that looks at all like this is Hong Kong. And if you look at Hong Kong on a map, I don't know if the my video player will let me record this, but I'm gonna check it out and we're gonna try. Okay, so it looks like I can actually get on the map. What's going on there? Why is this not letting me? Oh, there we go. There we go. Okay, so I can get on the map. This is, except for some reason it's not. Why is it not letting me? Oh, there we go. I'm clicking the wrong mouse button. So when you want to rotate the map in Cities Skylines, you use the wheel. But if you're in Google Maps, you use your left mouse click button. So Hong Kong is just such a gorgeous skyline. And one of the things that's really cool about Hong Kong is if you look at the street grid, it's really very asymmetric because the city is so old. This is not a traditional grid pattern. And so one of the things that happens here is there are places where the city just seems to climb up the sides of the hill. And I don't know of any city anywhere else in the world where you see high-rise towers climbing up the sides of the specific mountains. And it's all across the city. And the only... So I could claim that what I'm trying to do here is not unrealistic because it does exist in the real world. Now, one qualification there is I'm going to bet that most of these towers are residential, that most of the industry and commercial centers are closer to the coast. And so what I'm doing is actually not really realistic because I'm pushing some commercial and offices up the side of this foothill, but it's really such a striking view to see these high-rise towers creeping up the side of this mountain. That's what I want to try to replicate in game. Okay, and so I started working on this a little bit off camera. You can see, and I'm using, this is my collector, this is a collector, so there may be some more commercial buildings that I'll put along this road here, but then I'm going to try to put in some residential, dense residential in here. And part of my thinking here is you'll notice that these buildings are not as tall as these ones down here. So what I've done is I put in a district, and I should probably push that up. No, I don't want to push that up. I suppose I could. Let me think about it. Anyways, I put in this district here, and the reason this is important is because I put in a high-rise ban in this district. So these are all dense buildings, but they're obviously not going to grow as tall as these, because the effect I really want to get here is this kind of slow creeping up, but tapering off of the heights, so that by the time I get up to this section, these are going to all end up being, a more traditional, because this is much more flat, this plateau on the top of this hill. And so this is going to be a more traditional residential, low density suburb. And these buildings are going to kind of crawl up the side of the hill here. And part of what I'm going for with all of this is, again, like the city layout in Hong Kong, these streets are very irregularly placed. Now, I do have somewhat of a grid, but I've placed diagonals in here so that from the side, it doesn't look quite as regimented as a strict grid would. And I did this over here initially as well. When I laid these buildings in right here, I wanted to try to create, like, this obviously does not look like Hong Kong, but it's as close as I could get with buildings that are growing in. By putting in these diagonals, I get all these various shapes and sizes of buildings. And you can see I've got some office towers in here too that help change the style of buildings up as well. And it's kind of continued over here a little bit. Because this is a circular layout, so it still has this very irregular look. And so basically what I'm going to keep working on here is trying to lay these streets out so that I always have at least, and I am doing some terraforming as I go, and I'm putting in trees as I go, but I'm going for 2, 3, 4 tiles deep with these. And obviously we're doing okay so far on traffic flow. This is not even close to being jammed up. That's my only concern about this, is it really is almost a cul-de-sac, because once you come on this road, there's no exit until you come out here. So I may try to get a couple roads that cut across as well. And obviously I'm going to keep some distance, and I am trying to honor the topography here to the extent that you can. So like this road is obviously not going to honor the topography unless I want to bring one like this over here, and then I don't know what I fill in the middle there with. Maybe I just bring another road in here that is a cul-de-sac and doesn't connect to anything. So that's what I'm working on. Now, I did change up the building styles in here. So these are modern city center up here because I just wanted something that looked a little bit different. And then you can see I've already been doing some landscaping with pine trees. So I'm so far happy with how this is working right here. And we're just going to keep going and see how this turns out. And I'll try to be a good narrator as I go along. I think I want to move over here next. This is a major arterial, so I got to be careful. What I really need to do is pull a street. Maybe I can work from this street over. And then I don't know how I feel now about... These were originally on the edge of the city, these service buildings. Now, obviously, they no longer are, and we'll just see how this works. All right, so let's get back to it. Because we worked this way, this far up here. Now we're going to try to work again over here. I've been trying to smooth out the terrain so that it's as unwonky as possible. And all right, let's see. Obviously that road there makes this difficult. I did that because I was whoa. Okay, there we go. I brought that road over because I did want to have some kind of cutoff so that I could have a pad here to put stuff on. Let's see now. And that just looks horrible. I mean, maybe that's not the right way to go. Okay, let's see what we could do here. We're looking for 3 tile deep. And I could cheat and put, because the thing is, these are going to conflict with each other. I could cheat and put some buildings along that arterial there. I think I could get away with commercial buildings right there. Okay. I do think this will work. What I do want to do is... if I use move it and line these up. So that creates a little bit better. I'm getting a lot of lagginess in my game. I don't know what's causing this, but okay. And right now I am not putting in residential. I'm just putting in office. So if we ring... don't know if I want... And now we're saving again. Let's just drop. Come on. Let's do that. Okay, and then I might be able to get a little walking path right through here. Let's put that in right now. Now, if I could get this in there before something starts building in, let's go ahead and add that back there. And I don't want to wreck... No, I don't need to put another path right here. Okay, we're going to leave this alone. Now, this is where it gets interesting. I think what I want to do is go ahead and zone on here as well. No, let's do office here. And then commercial. Another office there. Commercial here. Commercial here. If I just zone one commercial, and then I'll come back and zone that one after that first one comes in. And then, why are those encroaching? That's weird. I don't have... Okay, that's fine. So now I'm going to bring another road in here and we'll see what happens. So I'm just going to bet that there are some players of this game, when they watch this, will be mortified by what I'm doing. Because I'm not putting in any retaining walls. I'm just cutting straight through. I am definitely not respecting the topography here. Although I could make an effort at that if I... See, that's not going to give me enough. So let's try right here. Okay, so, oh, but that doesn't give me anything. See, this is just a mess the way this is working. I don't think, because if I try to play games with the topography there, this is going to look like a mess. Let's see. This is going to be foolish. Well, what I could try to do is zone and then smooth. Let's see, this may not look good at all. If I zone and then see, that's just not realistic. It doesn't look good at all. Good grief. No, I don't think I should do this. That looks horrible. I don't know why my game has gotten so laggy lately. I'm not sure what mod. Let's see, the mods that I just put in were node controller and intersection marker. Okay. Well, let's leave this the way it is. I wonder if I do this with a smaller brush. I just want to tease out enough tiles and so I am doing some sleight of hand here because I'm putting in trees at some point that will hide the ugliness. See, I can't even get, that's just a mess. Maybe I just decorate that side of the slope with, see, I can get some, but see, that's my collector. I may just have to suck it up and let it be what it is. Now what happens? See, this is going to be too tall. If I were to... See, it's going to be... And now this could be interesting. If I bring this road over this way, then maybe I get a pad. I get some pads up here. I'm not going to put anything there. I could put some trees in here to hide that side of the slope. See, and that softens it too. This might just work. Okay, so now let's go back to my sloping tool. No, let's go back to this tool. And let's see if we can push. Not going to get anything there. We could push our way back. See, this would never happen in real life. This is one of the joys of Cities Skylines. I'm sure there will be some that will vehemently disagree. Oh, why did I do that? Okay, now let's see what kind of pads do I get here. No, I don't get anything.
Coming back at you with the thought of the day. Wherever you are and whatever you're doing, pause for a second and take your surroundings.
Why is it not giving me anything else there? If I relay the road. There we go. Now, plugging in over here is going to be interesting. Now, what is this glitchiness over here? Why is that happening? You know, it might not be a bad idea to have a crosswalk right there, although we got a crosswalk right down there. Okay. Now, let's do what we did again. Ugh, did I just wreck my pads? Nope, good. Okay, so now I have some stable pads. I could put buildings right in there. Before I forget. In this terrain, the sloping tool is a godsend. Okay, let's do this. Do I want to just jam a 4x4 in there? I don't think so. Maybe 4x4 here. Okay, so while those are growing in, I'm going to put in some pine trees down here. The other benefit of all these trees is it cuts down on noise. Let's, just for a quick, just out of curiosity. So that's 29%. Look at all the red. Now, it's still going to be at 29% when we come back, but let's see if this has any kind of impact. Pencils are great for filling in these spaces in between. Hey, we have someone using that path there. Okay, I don't think that's going to work right there. Yeah, that's right. I didn't zone anything there. Did zone something there, but there's space right there. These bushes come in so handy for, except that one's just huge. It's probably the only thing in the game that I really don't care for is the ugly sides of cliffs. Okay, that's not bad. We're starting to flatten the Rico bars too. Let's add. Let's put some short ones. No, if I'm going to do it on the side of the street, let's do regulars right here. And then we could put a mixture. And I don't know if I want to bring any more color in here. I do have a tree painter, so that has other variation of trees that I can bring in. That will give some variation of color, because these are all relatively the same shade of tree. That just looks so gross. We'll see what we can squeeze up in here. This right here is going to be interesting because we're closing in on this edge right here, and then it becomes difficult. Let's see what the smoothing tool will do for us. And we are auto-saving. Too much. I don't think it helps. It does clarify our topographic lines, though. Because I could try to squeeze one more road in here. I don't know how prudent that would be. And it's not going to give us anything to build on. No, that's just not going to work. Maybe... maybe that's enough. Right in there. Maybe that's enough. It's really unreasonable to try to put anything in there. I think I need to put some more trees right there, though.
Don't you want money for nothing?
Because that hillside just looks horrible.
Once you can have it, you just have to ask for it. Our 3-day sleepaway camp is the perfect place to strike it rich. Who are we? Well, we're the #1 dream makers in the region. And you are a motivated, driven, confident individual who has a desire to make it big. Run! Don't walk! Get your heart rate above 120. This is exciting. This offer is just for you because you deserve it. Come alone. So don't wait. The early bird...
Other thing I could do is grab a swath of multicolored deciduous trees right over here and just paste those in just to add some snippets of color. Okay, that's not bad, I don't think. Okay, so now I could come over here and finish this in. And then past this line, we're going to have a new district with low density residential up here. So this is all commercial and office here. You can see we still have need for residential. So maybe some commercial here and then some residential here. But for now, I think that does it. I really do think that the intended effect is coming through. It doesn't look too egregious along the hillside, and it gives a nice flat tapering to transition from these neighborhoods up the side of the hill. So, I want to thank you so much for watching. This is Hubbub signing off.